Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm going to be doing my presentation on Arthur Fellig, also known as Weegee. I chose this quote by him that says, "To me, a photograph is a page from life, and that being the case, it must be real." I really liked this quote because it really generalizes what his work was about and what he wanted his work to be, which was capturing real moments in life with no said filter or anything being fake. It was just capturing real moments. When he was young, his father immigrated to New York, and then shortly after, him and his family immigrated to New York, and he attended school there for a while, and then he dropped out, he started working for jobs to support his family, and then once he became interested in photography, he became a freelancer that worked for many New York newspapers. Because of this, it motivated him to be first to the scene, because he was always covering certain stories for newspapers and doing photojournalism for them, and it clearly influenced his style of photography that is well known today. One of the company newspapers that he worked for was the PM Daily, and this one was really important, and because it really took up a lot of his life, and here he experimented with new subjects, new ideas, and a new way of doing photojournalism that he kind of made it his own, and it became something really different, and he impacted it in a really big way. He covered many stories at this newspaper company, but the photographs were the thing that were really highlighted, and he was really well known for. Museums and other people had held exhibitions acknowledging this work, and the same work later was published into his first book, The Naked City, in 1945. Because of his achievements in life, he later worked with many artists past the photography world and more into the film world, with director Stanley Kubrick when he moved to Hollywood in 1947, and he also worked with huge icons in the photography world like Andy Warhol. This is a really well-known photograph by him titled "Simply Add Boiling Water." It's really ironic because of the text that says "Simply add boiling water," and it shows a building on fire. He was really ironic in a lot of his work, and it's because he knew that this would increase attention and it would sell more. And it was this mindset, it was something that he had throughout all of his work. In this photograph, it depicts a gunman who was being questioned and photographed by photojournalists. Another really well-known photograph by him. This one depicts a group of children on one of the hottest days in New York. I like this photograph because it shows a really happy moment in the midst of a whole bunch of sad times. During this time, they were struggling with economics, and it was a time full of war. And while Weegee depicted many dark nightlife, he found it just as important to capture the moments during the day that were full of joy. This is another photograph of children that were sleeping during the heat wave in New York, sleeping on a fire escape with a high vantage point looking down onto them. I like this photo because it shows a true moment, which is what Weegee was best known for, is capturing real, raw moments. He said himself that if you hear about children sleeping on a fire escape holding a kitten, people just don't believe that kind of stuff, and to take it upon himself to depict this kind of moment is really cool. This is a photo of a wax exhibit for the Ruth Snyder murder. This is a photograph of one of his crime works, showing somebody getting a body being pulled out of the water. Something that Weegee did a lot was capture the very beginning moments of a crime or something, like an accident. He was always the first onto the scene, and because of that, he captured the very, very first moments of something terrifying or scary. Beside that, he also did a series of going into theaters and capturing the audiences in theaters while watching a movie, whether it was their reactions to the movie, or lovers in the theater, or children sleeping in the theater. Here's another one of two lovers in the theater. And while these are very cheerful photos, he also did photographs in theaters like this one, showing the segregation at this time. Again, once being raw and true. These photos are distortions that held very, very, very importance in his life. This is when he moved to Hollywood, and he saw how much people put celebrities on a pedestal and how much they looked onto them. And he kind of mimicked that and mocked it and distorted these photos that he took of celebrities or other people in nudes. He said that he needed a lens out of this world to do full justice to the strange sights and people, which is Hollywood. It was known that he didn't really like living there, but he kind of poked fun at this genre of loving people in Hollywood. In this photo, he used a kaleidoscope, and this is another distortion of a nude, which also ended up coming together to be his another book of his called Naked Hollywood. This is a photograph depicting once again the reactions of Hollywood and how people looked at celebrities at this time. This is a photograph of residents observing a murder scene. While you capture the reactions of the people that are victims, they also captured the moments of the people around them and the people observing it, which is just as fascinating to me. Besides those, he also did quick snapshots. He was very open with his work. Like this one, it's just a quick photo of a woman smoking. Here's another crime photo. This is one of my favorites, yet again raw and real. This is just seconds after being in an accident and waiting for help, as that one other lady was on the staircase a few pictures back. It's showing the very first moments of an accident or crime or a murder and the reactions behind it. And this is a really good composition of people in a car through a car window, and you can see a man from the other side peeking through the darkness. Weegee's significance to the photography world is that he was a self-taught photographer, and he made it known that he always utilized a flashbulb throughout his career. While people didn't really see the point in doing that, he found it was very important, and it showed his harsh shadows and high contrast prints. He believed in the truth of photography depicted real happenings, and it had a huge impact on photojournalism and the documentary side of photography and art in general, especially film.